Welcome to Magic Arcanum. I'm Ryan Gomez. Behind the scenes is Nicole Burdick, and we're so glad you're here because it's live stream time. We got a fun one here today. It's as voted on by patrons. I put the offer up to do a stipulation draft of the Brothers War in celebration of Black Friday. I figured we could do maybe a forced mono black, or black with some supporting cards to kind of help us out here. But that's kind of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to hang out and kind of unwind from the turkey and the family and pumpkin pie and all that, and just take some time here to just enjoy magic. It's a rainy, gloomy day here again in upstate New York, and I don't know. I just felt like hopping on the computer and having some fun. I appreciate you being here and joining me for today, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Hopefully, it's not crazy retail. I mean, I worked many Black Fridays when I was an employee at Target and a couple other companies over the years. Those humble first jobs that we all go through. So I get it, man. Like, it's rough out there. That's why we're having fun doing magic here instead. So I got my chat up. I got I got my screens all set, and I think I'm all ready to go. But I just want to make sure you guys are all good with the plan here. We're going to do Premier Draft for the Brothers War. And I think we're going to try to force mono black in honor of Black Friday. Does that sound good? First of all, can you guys even hear me? Is this thing on? Because we've struggled with that in the past. And I'm still a little new at the live streaming stuff, but hopefully things are working well and you can hear me. Watch all of his stuff on YouTube. Well, thank you guys for watching videos and tuning into the live stream. I know it's a little weird doing it on YouTube rather than Twitch. I know that's a more popular venue, but I wanted to stick with what I know and where I'm familiar and where I already have the audience built in. So that's why I'm here. Oh, you're in Ithaca. It is a rainy day with a bit of drizzle there as well. Yeah, the whole Northeast here. We've got some snow over in Buffalo and just kind of rain and drizzle everywhere else. So it's all right. We're gonna hang out, keep each other warm with company. It's raining in Texas. Wow. I was in Texas for almost 3 years myself before moving back here to New York, and it's great to be around family and friends again. All right. Okay, so everyone can hear me. That is good news. All right, then let's launch this puppy. And I think the plan is, we're going to... So anyone who's never done a stipulation draft before, the idea is that I've got to, whenever possible, in this case, draft a black card. Just, that's it. Even if it's the worst one in the pack, I've got to take it. And we're going to try to force a mono black deck. And I am burning a whole draft token to make this happen. That's all right. It's fine. What's money? We're fine. Hanging out, live stream, mono black, we're ready to go. All these seats are filled, everyone's home with nothing to do. It's a holiday, it's great. It's great. We got our Vraska avatar. Okay, first pack, and again, I have to take black. I mean, this dragon would be sick. We could have a gnawing vermin, a 1/1 for 1, and when it dies, we get to shrivel something. That's cool. We can have Gix's Caress. Make someone discard a card and make a Power Stone. That might be useful. Or we could have Moment of Defiance. Target creature is +2/+1, gains a lifelink. Oh, or this Skullflare. This one's actually not bad. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on Skullflare. I kind of like that. That might be my first pick. Actually, I like to start with a creature or removal whenever possible and kind of build out around there. So here we go, mono black. We're passing a rare dragon. Our next in line is going to see this pack and be like, what is happening? We can double up on Skullflayers. I don't know if I love them that much, although we'll probably end up with quite a few of these by the end. We could take one of those gnawing vermins. Maybe there's like a mono black mill where we just... I guess this works with the Skullflayer, right? Self-mill would put creatures in our own bin. And if the game goes long, we could maybe drain our opponent out of cards. Let's try that. We'll take the rat. I don't know the cards in this set terribly well. I've only done 2 drafts, and I did the pre-release, which is sealed, and I've done a little bit of constructed with some of the new cards, but most of my research was in the story spotlight cards and kind of understanding what's going on in the set so that I could make my recap videos for that. And so I haven't really done a lot of playing with just the cards as they are. But here we are, 2 picks into our Mono Black Friday deck. We've got a rat and a Phyrexian human assassin. Okay, we could grab another. We could go up to a Gigamole. We got a bunch of artifacts, which are going to really help us fill the holes here. So we could take Ashnod's Altar and do some self-sacking to get some mana. That might be useful. The Transmogrant Altar. Pay black, sack a creature, get triple black, sack a creature, make a zombie. I kind of like that. I think that fits with what we want to be doing here, right? Oh, Grady says grab the mole. I think this is going to come back around the table. We're going to see a bunch of these guys, but I think grabbing useful artifacts is that, yes, it's a worse Shambling Ghast. You're right. Shambling Ghast is one of the best, probably common 1-drops of all time, so anything worse than that is still probably pretty good. All right, we have No One Left Behind, a 5-mana sorcery that costs 3 less if it targets a creature card with mana value 3 or less. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh, a reanimator that's cheaper when reanimating cheaper stuff. Flexibility is really good in limited formats. You want your cards to do as much as possible. Other options here, the Clay Revenant or the Trench Stalker. Man, we actually have some good options here for our forced mono black. I don't know if we need a reanimator spell. It's not like we have any bombs we want to be getting back. Trench Stalker, a vanilla 4/5 unless we find a way to draw extra cards. I guess we're going to take that just because I like the big body, but I don't know. All right, Thran Vigil, an enchantment. Whenever one or more artifacts and/or creature cards leave your graveyard during your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Okay, so if we have ways to get stuff out of our graveyard, which we could do with like Clay Revenant, or if we'd grab that reanimation spell, this might be like a good build around for us, actually, unironically. Other picks here, Self-Assembler is a good colorless body that can replace itself with other self-assemblers or assembly workers. But I think we're going to try making Thran Vigil work. Oh, is anything else going to happen in Strixhaven? In regards to what? I don't think we want an Ornithopter. Combat Courier has a colored Unearth, but I guess we're taking another Trench Stalker. Strixhaven, it might be a little while before we go back to that plane. So I don't really know. We kind of left things in a weird spot when we were last there. Ooh, all right, so we can have Ashnod's Intervention. Creature gets +2/+0, and when it dies, return it to a hand. That okay, so dying still goes to the graveyard. So this still triggers our Thran Vigil. That's actually not bad. Thraxodemon's also pretty good. Sacrifice another creature, draw a card. I think we're going to take Intervention here, though. Wow, lots of open black cards. I'm kind of impressed that this is working so well so far. Carrion Locust, pretty good, flying 2/1. Dreams of Steel and Oil. We get to exile a creature or an artifact from our opponent's hand, and it's pretty reactive. I'd rather play some threats. My strategy for limited is almost always just spam creatures that can attack well and try to win off of that. Moment of Defiance is an interesting combat trick for us, especially on like a flyer. Get in for some extra damage, gain life. It replaces itself. A little expensive, but you know, we're getting down to the bottoms here. Okay, we still have black cards coming. We have not broken our mono black streak yet. Good morning. Are we going mono black? Yes. This is a stipulation draft in honor of Mono Black Friday. We're trying to force mono black, or as close to it as we can get, with Brothers War. So that's what we're doing. We're just having a good time with it. No idea if this is going to work. I mean, we're going to make it work. It'll be great. What's the rest of our table up to? We've got any names I recognize? Butter Trade. No. Okay. So we're not playing against any celebrities. Although I guess the actual games are not necessarily going to be against the people in this pod. So we might end up playing against somebody famous. All right. The Revenant. I was hoping this guy would come back around. The fact that it can return itself from the graveyard to our hand is pretty good, especially combined with that Thran Vigil. All right, so our first non-black card. Do we grab a blue, green? Well, I guess auto. We'll just let the auto select take it. If there's no black card in the pack, auto select will make the choice for us. There we go. Okay, Ornithopter, I can work with that. I mean, I guess I could manually take that because it's technically colorless. We're not taking anything not black. But I don't think we're running that guard, and I don't think we're running that guy. Okay, next pack, a Cityscape Leveler. Yes, 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 that is perfect. Oh man, that's a great top-end card. Probably one of the better mythics in the whole set, and it fits with our mono black deck. This is amazing. Okay. I got the Professor, all the Deans, and the Elder Dragons. Those are really great cards from Strixhaven. That is, excuse me, Strixhaven's one of my favorite sets. Like, I love the world there. I like a lot of the characters and the cards and stuff. All right, we're not taking a rare land. Go for the Throat is pretty good removal. I'd be happy to have that. It doesn't kill any of the artifact creatures that are going to give us problems, but we can pick off just about anything else. Okay, somehow we have gotten 15 playable cards here already, pretty much. Defense Grid is our old frame card. And for anyone who hasn't really done a Brothers War draft yet, every pack has one of these old frame style cards. Most of them are not legal in like standard, but you can use them in the draft. Each spell costs 3 more to cast, except during its controller's turn. So that kind of shuts down like instants and counter spells and all of that kind of stuff. But the Anointer is another flyer with a decent sized body that can grow, and it has its own little mini reanimator thing built into it. So that might be our pick here. We got to find ways to draw more cards. We need like Gruesome Realization or something to come back around the table. That'd be ideal. Symmetry Matrix. Whenever a creature with power equal to its toughness enters a battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 if you do draw a card. Do any of our stuff have equal 2/3, 2/1? I think just like the 1/1 is like our only symmetrical card. So we can go another flyer. We could grab another Revenant. I think I like the flyers. I think we'll let our Skull Flayers hold the ground and try to go up over the top. All right, Pristine Talisman. A little bit of ramp, a little bit of life gain. Doesn't really. Ooh, here we go. Steel Exemplar. 5 mana 4/4 with trample. It enters the battlefield with 2 1/1 counters on it unless 2 or more colors of mana were spent. But we're going to be doing as much as we can in mono black. So this is going to be like a 5 mana 6/6 with trample. That's better than Colossal Dreadmaw. Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, and here we go. Grim Realization. That's what I wanted. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Yep. Or creatures your opponents control get shrunk. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Emergency Weld. Return target artifact or creature from your graveyard to your hand. Make a soldier. Perfect. That, again, works great with our Thran Vigil and lets us keep reusing our not so great creatures. But if somebody blows up our leveler or if we self-mill it or something, we can get it back. Okay. Levitating Statue, not great for us. Disfigure. Which figure? Disfigure. Give any creature -2/2 to end of turn at instant speed. That's what we want. Caress. Yeah, I'd rather have removal. That actually works. And then we could grab another Gnawing Vermin Rat. This is good. This is going so good. Colossal Dreadmaw. Colossal, not going to work here anymore. Okay, whenever Killzone Acrobat attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. It gains flying. A 3 mana 3/2 that has a really conditional attack trigger, or more card draw and more like mini board wipe. I think I'd rather run a second Gruesome Realization. This deck is filling out nice, and we're only on pack 2. So what are some other really good cards we could still find? Gix's Command, Gix himself. I don't know, what's the good mono black stuff? should have studied the set more. I should have crammed for this test. All right, what is going on here? Why are you got 4 packs piled up, friend? All right. There's only... Okay, so Dig Site might actually be better than our 4th Skull Flare. The ability to surveil late game kind of helps us find some more action in our deck. Another Revenant, I think, is what we want out of that. Power Plant Worker, a 5-mana 4/4 that can self-buff. That's probably better than the Firebomb. Really expensive removal. If we open Mishra, would we splash for it? I think so. I think that would be allowed. I don't know. I'm really digging the mono black here. Like, there are so many playable cards that we have found. Oh, rebuff. I don't think we're going to be using that. Wow, who just called it? Alex, you just said if we open Mishra, do we play it? Oh gosh. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna take it for sure, even just for my own collection. And now we can think about it. I'm gonna try to build the rest of the deck, assuming we don't have them. I'm still not taking any red cards, but when we get to the actual construction part, and there's like no black cards in here, we could take Mishra's Bauble. We could take this dude that makes Power Stones. I think the Bauble is slightly better. All right. You're my good luck charm, Alexander. Calling Mishra, and there he is. Nicole's on chat. She says, yes, splash for Mishra. The odds, I can't believe it. That was quite a called shot. That was impressive. It's even the good Mishra. Like, I mean, they're all pretty good, but this one gives our stuff unearth, which is great. The war, oh man, Ashnod! Let's go. Here we go. 1/1 Death Touch. Whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice something, make a Power Stone. 5, an exile a creature from your graveyard, make a zombie token. Sounds great. Probably better than anything else we can do here. Okay. And then another mono black. Okay, do we want Diabolic Intent to find our Mishra? I mean, guys, what else are we here for, right? This is mono black greedy Black Friday for reals. Another Locust. I mean, it's black. We gotta take it. Someone's letting a rare land go around. We could do another Vermin, another Disfigure. Claws, Boots. I think Disfigure, right? Because, like, removal is, like, always good. You're never going to draw removal and be like, why didn't I have Boots in this deck instead? Ashnod and Misra. Now we can... It's basically story time draft, really. We are just recreating the Brothers' War. Oh, this is great. This is great. Suddenly don't feel bad about using a draft token here. Intent. Well, there was a lot of good cards in that pack. Any one of them you could have made a case for. For sure. Okay. Do we want another Trench Stalker, another Intervention, a very expensive Firebomb? I mean, it does destroy any permanent for 8 mana. I mean, I guess having one of those around is not the worst. Okay, so we have another Defiance, another Altar. Probably don't need 2 of those. Another Dig Site. I think I do want 2 of that. Especially if we're doing mono black. Well, a little bit of red. A little bit. Another Emergency Weld, or do we want to give something wings? I guess having a way to get a fly. Well, we got a bunch of little flyers. I guess Weld. Weld it up. Okay. Oh, all right. So no black and no artifacts. We're just gonna let the auto picker grab us something. Probably won't end up running it, but these are the terms I've bound myself to. Davriel's contract. Why? What logic does it use to pick a common over? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, well, we have a black card, so we will take that. Moment of Defiance. And then nothing in our wheelhouse here, so we'll let the game pick one of these for us, which, again, it'll probably just end up sideboarded. Same. Nothing to do here. So our deck is pretty much set at this point. I mean, unless another black or artifact card comes around, but we're getting down to the end of our last pack. Oh, here we go. Okay, another vermin or claws. +1/0 and menace. I think I want another vermin. And then tinkering, useless. Okay, that's the draft. As voted on by patrons, they wanted to see me draft with one hand behind my back. Joke's on them. We opened some really good black cards, so I'm actually okay with this. Let's take a look at what we got. Why did it put planes? Oh, because when did we pick that? I don't know. All right. So we got 52 cards. We need to cut this way down. What are 12 things we can get rid of? Oh, we also, I think we're going to add that Mishra in, right? We're good with that. Where did he go? Where did he go? Get in there. Okay. All right. Would have been great to grab an Evolving Wilds or something to make these mountains a little easier to find. Okay. Top end. The Leveler. Love it. Keeping it. Exemplar. Still going to be a very big beater. Love it. Power Plant Worker. Probably don't need that. We didn't find any of the other Mine Worker or Tower Worker, any of this stuff to go with it. It's just kind of a generic five mana guy. So I think we can cut one of those. I don't think we need 2 Trench Stalkers. I think I do want the Realizations, although those work great with the Trench Stalkers. All right, maybe we... Whoops. Maybe we do want to keep those for a moment. Where do they go? Keep you for now. Keep the Realizations. Moment of Defiance. I don't think we need 2. Although, again, it has draw a card. We get to do double card draw. So maybe that's worth keeping. The Anointer gets bigger whenever we draw a second card. So that's a good package. Skull Flayers. I don't think we need 4 of. Maybe go down to like 2. Locust. I don't think we need 3 of. Maybe we can come down to like 2. The Altar, I'm not super sold on. Intent, I guess we can keep. The 2 Welds are good. Go for the Throat is good. The Vigil is fine. Bauble. I don't think I want that. Ornithopter, I don't think I want either. I think we can ditch those. The Revenants are good because they get themselves back. So they work great with Ashnod. And 1 copy of her Intervention is probably fine. 2 Disfigures are good. 3 Rats, though. No. Okay, so we got rid of about half of the stuff we need to cut. We still need to cut 6 more cards. Whew. Okay. So I guess, are Revenants better than Rats? Or do we like a 2-2 split? I guess that's okay. We have a lot of cheap stuff. Firebomb is like really expensive, but it does remove anything. And we don't really have any other true remove anything cards. We got some Disfigures to pick off small stuff, but we might need a way to answer opponents' bombs. This is tough. Like, for being only 1 color, there's like a lot of stuff here that I don't want to get rid of. But something has to go. 6 more cards have to go. I guess the top end is kind of heavy. I mean, but again, 4/5 that we could be giving Death Touch and Lifelink because we're drawing extra card. Man. All right, probably don't need. What story does this deck tell? Player removal is creature removal. These are good tips. This is good. This is true. If we can kill our opponent, we don't have to get rid of their stuff. So does that mean we can cut the Firebomb? We'll try it. So the story of this deck is Mishra has shown up and he is here to level some cities. We got a Cityscape Leveler. He's backed up with some Trench Stalkers. And we are experiencing the gruesome realization that a mono black splash red for Mishra deck is possible. I don't think we even, I don't know, because we got the Revenants and the Rats, so Altar maybe is good. Maybe we don't need like 2 Welds. Maybe we don't need like 2 of these guys. I guess not. We have a lot of like 3 drops. I don't see, like, the trap with these combat tricks is you're like, oh, this is great. If I cast this when I have an 8/8 or a 6/6, oh, so much life. It's huge. But if you have no creatures on board, this does nothing. Nothing. You really don't want to be stuck with like 2 of these in your hand you can't ever use, right? Like, that's not good. All right, down to 42. I mean, the rats, when they die, I like that they give something -1. Intervention we still like. Ashnod we like. The altar is a little better now we got revenants and rats to feed to it. Is intent good here? Sack a creature, search your library for a card, put it in your hand. So we get to trade in like a revenant to basically go find Mishra. Like, that seems good. Thran Vigil. Whenever one or more artifacts or creatures leave your graveyard. I mean, we've got ways to leave the graveyard. We've got the Revenants. We've got Emergency Welds. So I kind of like that interaction. Oh, we do have a Go for the Throat. Okay, so we do have at least one other piece of decent removal. What else can we cut? I want to get rid of 2 more cards. What else do we ditch here? Maybe we don't need 2 Gruesomes? Maybe it's a Trench Stalker and a Gruesome. Let's try that. I'm a fan of the Locust. Flying and Life Ping seems useful. So, it's a 3-mana 2/1 with flying. Yep. When it enters the battlefield, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. It does eat unearth stuff. If it was a creature, that player loses 1 life. Okay. Is that better than, like, the Anointer, who's a 1/3, but whenever we draw our second card each turn, it gets bigger? Like, if this even just gets 1 counter and becomes, like, a 3-mana 2/4, and then when it dies, we get something else small back? Like, I like this more. Do we like it more than the Skullflare? Maybe. Maybe we're getting stuff out of our graveyard so fast that the Skullflare is actually not ever going to have enough bodies to trigger? Let's try that. Let's go add another Locust back in. So 2 Locusts and the Anointer. That gives us quite a bit of Air Force. A little bit of life gain combat trick. Some card draw. And then our heavyweights. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I like our list. I like it. Now we just need to bling it out. So, show me some basic lands, please, computer. Swamps. Do we go like old school Mirage? Do we go... dreamy? Creepy? Phyrexian? I mean, I guess we got to use Phyrexian Swamps here, right? I think that's what we want. Oh, did it just... How do I... Yeah. So 10 Swamps. But then what do we use for our reds? Mirage Mountains? Those are pretty good. Or do we just leave them? Not that. What's a good... What's comparable to our Phyrexian, the Bob Ross little log cabin on it? No. Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, we got to send the right message to our opponent. I need them to look at our basic lands and be like, we can't beat this guy. He's got lightning. He's got exploding mountains. It's a goblin pile. It's the demon pile. Dragons. Just pointy rocks. Rebecca's. I guess we're going to just grab that Mirage Mountain. That's like great, right? And ditch those. Okay. And then we're going to go over here. And then we can't use Vraska. We got to get... Is it Evil Robot? Is it Vorthos? I mean, I like using Vorthos when we do drafts because it doesn't reveal our deck. What's a good pet, though? Black Lotus? Classic. Sleeves. Vorthos sleeveys. Where'd they go? I have too many sleeves, gang. Like, I dare say, I am drowning in cosmetics. I wish I could, like, give some of these away or something. That'd be cool. But no. Okay. Mishra's Black Friday deck. Okay. Flying's never bad to have. Pulls its weight and then some. Yeah. I think this deck is looking pretty good. Just one more look at it. Good curve. 2.6 average mana cost. I like to be around 3. 2 to 3 is like good, but we also still have some good top end. We got some ways to draw it. Some ways to dig for stuff. Okay, place your bets. How many wins do we get with our mono black Black Friday deck? I'm not even going to wait for you to place your bets. I'm just going to play. That's why I'm here. Bow, 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 bow. Nicole loves adding counters. That is true. Okay, so we have Disfigure, Revenant, Defiance, both of our colors. This is a keepable opening 7. 3, they say. The line is set at 3. Can we go better than 3 and 3? Okay. For reference, last week live stream we went 7 and 2, and before that, the early access event, we went 3 and 3. So historically, I think 3-3 is about where we would draw the line. We either go way past that and do like a perfect run. I mean, not perfect because we did lose some games, but we either go all the way or we kind of scrub out. But all right, 4 wins. Ooh. Did I miss the actual draft part, or what's going on? Yes, we just completed the draft. It was a stipulation draft with black cards being forced pick in celebration of Black Friday. So we have a mono black deck, and then somebody in the chat said, what if Mishra shows up? Can we splash for Mishra? And then he was in the very next pack. So we did grab a Mishra. So we do have some mountains in here, but otherwise we're on a mono black Black Friday deck with Mishra, and we are waiting for Willie Lion to do something, right? I didn't, or is it my turn? What is happening? Is this glitched? Hello? Okay, it's not waiting on me. All right. So I got votes for 3 wins. I got votes for 4 wins. Nobody thinks we're gonna go all the way up to 7. Nobody thinks we're gonna win the whole thing. It's not the mythic Mishra, it's the rare one. The one that gives all of our stuff ward and lets us unearth stuff from the graveyard. Turn to dust emote. I don't know. This opponent, come on. Come on, we're drafting, we're playing live. This is being streamed, opponent. You don't want to embarrass yourself by timing out here, do you? Like I got the squeakiest chair on earth. All right, Echo says we're gonna go all the way up to 7. Now the pressure's on. Now I gotta make that happen. Can't have you guys spending your Friday watching a loser play Magic on stream. Figured out a funky combo with the rare Mishra. Well, what is that? What is your combo? Share with the class. Opponent still twiddling thumbs. Okay, Forest. Big play. Guess we just get things started with the old ping for 1. Timeout win to start off. I mean, it feels like it. Okay, they have themselves a Fauna Shaman, which I think we're just gonna get out of here before they can start activating it to dig up cards. And we're not gonna show them our mountain yet. I don't think we want to Defiance our Revenant. Just gonna wait it out here. Play Mishra, new Sigarda, give your opponent Sigarda Fateful Handoff, and your stuff is untargetable because Sigarda won't let you sack stuff. Is that really how that works? I thought you can't be made to sack stuff with Sigarda, but you can choose, like, you can still use your own treasures and stuff, right? Like... Alright. Do we attack in... I guess we do. I like keeping the pressure on, and if they make us use this moment of defiance, I think that's still okay. Like, obviously I'd rather save that for when we have a Trench Gorger, but hey, now we get to play Ashnod, and we get to keep the board clear, and we can always bring this guy back, so we're doing great. Requires 4-color deck, but it sounds cool in theory. I mean, again, I would have to double check if Sigarda truly works that way. It is, because to get past the ward ability, you're forced to sack. Some precedence in some other cards. Okay, well, I mean, if you've done your research, and that's, there he is. There he is. Okay. So do we get him going already? I think so. That's why we're here. Alright, and then so Ashnod is a 1/1 with Death Touch. Are they gonna trade her for the Rust Goliath? Probably not. We're not sacrificing Mishra. Opponent with a green-white Power Stone kind of a thing going on here, maybe? Alright. So I think we can actually... Do we play our Massive Exemplar? Do we unearth our Revenant? And then Ashnod sack it to make Power Stone? I don't think we really need that. I guess we're just gonna play a 6/6 with Trample and Ward? Like, this seems pretty good. Do keep in mind colorless mana doesn't interfere with the Exemplar. Yes, so spending the 4 black and the colorless from the dig site, yep, got us the 6/6 with counters, so we're good. I don't think I want to attack with Ashnod, and a 4/4 into a 3/5 is no good either, so we'll just wait and hit them hard with our Exemplar. We're up to 23. They're down to 17. They still have a bunch of cards in hand, and we don't. That's okay. All right, so we could use Gruesome to draw more cards. We could use it to shrink their board. Okay, so now if we attack with the 6/6, they probably double block. Which will give them a Power Stone. So if we use the second half of Realization to give them -1/-1, then this becomes a 2/4 and a 3/3. Which together would not be enough to stop the Exemplar. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Crunch their board a little bit. They get a Power Stone out of it, but that's fine. Because now we can send in a 6/6. And they'll take it. And we will bring back our Revenant just to have some extra stuff in play that we can maybe sack with Ashnod if we decide we want to, although we've got 4, 5, 6, 7 already, so a Power Stone would get us a City Leveler mana if we need it. Played Historic Brawl yesterday with Mishra, melded him a few times. Wow, that is hard to pull off in Brawl, because you gotta find the other half of his meld somewhere in your 99 cards, right? But that's good. I'm happy for you. Ooh, a clay champion. Okay, all right. With a lot of green and white mana behind it. That's bigger than our guy. All right. Well, I think we're going to use our dig site and try to find some action. All right. No point in attacking in here. We'll just wait. It's not like they can really safely attack us either. So it's going to come down to whoever gets the better top decks, and we're both going to use our dig sites to move things along. Pretty easy with artifact tutors and just tutors in general. Yeah, I guess if you build your deck just to do that, maybe it's not as hard as I'm picturing. I always get leery about having a strategy that hinges on just one card, especially in a singleton format, but hey, I mean, if you're committed to getting Mishra to do his thing, then go for it. Another land, okay. There it is. That's what we want. That's what we want, gang. Leveler, ready. Leveler, I hardly know her. Okay, so when you cast this spell, destroy up to one target non-land permanent. Do we just blow up champion? I mean, I guess it's their biggest thing, so. Kapow! Alright, do they have, what is it, Gaia's Blessing or something to give it, like, hexproof? Soul Partition, exile it, and then they can recast it. Okay, so we don't get to blow up with the leveler this time. That's fine. Totally fine. Not a big deal. But now do we send in our, like, at least our 6/6 and force them to either block or take a ton of damage? I think I do. I think I want to hit with that. Nicole getting out a spray bottle. Naughty, naughty. I mean, it's Mono Black Friday. We're allowed to be a little crass here on Arcanum. Usually a very wholesome presentation. I put a lot of thought into my words for the scripted videos. Not always true when live streaming, you know? Like, sometimes I'm gonna push the envelope a little harder here. Consider it a treat for you guys being here and hanging out with me. You get to see the real Mage Zyron, as it were, and not that polished image that I bring to YouTube all the time. The opponent has themselves a self-assembler. And a mine worker, okay. Oof. And they are going to prison sentence my leveler, which I'm actually okay with. Real talk live stream, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's think about this. So we have the leveler, who is now in prison, so it can't attack or block, but we do have Ashnod. And whenever she attacks, we can sacrifice another creature. If we do, we get a Power Stone, and then we can unearth this next turn. So I think we actually swing in with everybody. Sack that. And now, depending on how they line up their blocks, we've got to disfigure to ruin some of their math. Exactly. They think that they can just block Mishra. Where's the Flavor Judge? I don't know. But, like, they're gonna have to answer this a second time. We get to keep Mishra alive. Sure, you can have 2 life. Okay. So we're not unearthing these guys now. And we're not creating a zombie, because I'd rather keep these. So I think we're done. Opponent needs to come up with a way to deal 23 damage to us. Real quick. Don't think they're going to be able to do that. They can gain themselves a little bit more life. I can even unearth both of these, right? They get their champion back, sure. It's gonna be huge. Does unearth count as an ability or a casting cost? Great question. So I'm trying to understand that myself, right? So, well, they're gonna concede anyway. So this, okay, victory. Yes, I got it. Let me see my battlefield again, please. Okay, so the exemplar says when it enters the battle, or excuse me, enters with 2+1/+1 counters on it, unless 2 or more colors of mana were spent to cast it. So if you unearth it, you didn't cast it, and since you didn't cast it, you didn't use the wrong colors of mana to cast it. So I believe he would come in as a 6/6 because it's an ability, and we didn't cast it with different colors of mana. Hopefully, we get to try that in our next match. I think we got it. Yes. Yeah, we have a good top end there with that leveler. Mishra did his thing. That worked perfect. I almost want to just retire now and be done. But we got to get all the way up to 7 wins here, gang. Unearth is put, not cast. So that's true. So we wouldn't get the cast trigger off of the leveler, but it also has whenever it attacks, it triggers as well. So unearth gives them haste. Leveler would have came in and made an attack, and it could have gotten a blocker out of the way, and we would have killed them anyway. Okay. No creatures here yet. So Power Stone tokens don't work on them. How do you mean? Can you use Power Stones to pay an unearth cost? You can, because you can use Power Stones for anything except casting a non-artifact spell. So you could use Power Stone mana to pay an unearth ability cost, because you can use Power Stones to pay any ability cost. Opponent with a 2/2. Do we go for the Throat It or save this for something bigger? Oof. Alright, guess we'll just throw this altar down. Nothing to do with it yet, but we're not under a ton of pressure. Ooh. Oh, hello, opponent. Cool dragon engine you've got there, and our go for the throat doesn't work on it. And we are just flooding on more lands. Okay, so as much as I would rather save this, I don't want a ton more turns going by. Ooh, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now when they go to attack with this guy, we'll just disfigure it. And then hopefully they don't have Mishra to go with this guy, but we'll see. Okay. They're spending a disenchant on our altar. I am fine with that. I wasn't really planning to use it anyway. In fact, that might get cut from this deck at this point. I don't know that we're really an altar deck. It seemed cool when we picked it, but all right, down to 12. Still no creatures. Return target artifact or creature card from your graveyard. So we could get our altar back and yeah, make an emergency 1/1. And then I guess we just play that altar again. Surely this is fine. Scrapwork Cohort, a 4-mana 3/1 that makes a 1/1 buddy with it. Pretty good, pretty good. Alright. Do I just trade this with the frontliner Or do I save myself 5 damage? Guess we're just trying to stay alive here at this point. Locust seems alright. Get that dragon engine out. And then we can keep some combat tricks at the ready here. We can kill something. We can intervention our locust. The opponent thinks we need the altar. Yeah. Yeah, if they're spending resources on the one non-threatening card that we've got, that I am cool with that. Alright, so they're going to try to buff that guy up, so I think we just kill it. And then I'm going to make my block, and then use intervention. I mean, we don't need the power boost, but now the locust comes back to our hand, which means we get to play it again, which means we get to eat an unearth guy. Okay, we are stabilizing. This is not pretty, but we're still alive. This thing getting double strike is a little unnerving. Ugh. Okay. Alright. So I'm gonna block and trade because we've got the weld that we can get one of these back with again. I'm not gonna throw anyone in front of this because they're just gonna give it double strike and we wouldn't actually trade anything. So we're gonna take 4 damage. Not great. Okay. We're at 5. That's plenty. Oof, come on. Alright, 5, 6, 7 land. We get back. So I don't even really know what helps us here. I guess Ashnod? Okay, so the altar, we can use it to sack a creature to make a 3/3. So we can upgrade this 1/1 into a 3/3, which still isn't big enough to deal with that guy. And we can only do that as a sorcery, so we can't block and then ditch it. But we could block, sack it, get mana, use the mana for Ashnod's ability. Okay, alright, I got a plan. It's fine. We're fine. Totally fine. I didn't just spend 6 minutes reading my cards, opponent. I know what I'm doing. Gotta make that compelling content. Oh, hey, remember that dragon that we didn't take in the first pack of the first... Yeah. Welp. Okay, so this guy still gets to hit us for 2. And then I do not know how we survive another turn. Because we only have 7 mana. Even if we draw a leveler here. Oh, wow. Oof. Alright, we're down to 1. Locust. I guess keeps us alive? Kinda. Okay. Now we gotta block both of these. And then we will have no creatures left on board. Yep. Double strike, sure. Eat my token, sure. Okay, so now even if we draw like Leveler, not good enough. Mishra, not good enough. Trench Stalker, not good enough. Unfortunate. Alright. Good game, opponent. Your aggressive red-white deck outperformed our mono black. 1-1, still alive for the dream of 7 wins. I think we can get there. I think with your support and unwavering devotion, we'll bounce right back. Not gonna remember that one. Never happened. All right, 1-1. Let's go. Let's go. Rally. Green cup. Okay, we have the leveler, we have a locust, we have a nice curve. 1, 2, 3, 8. I guess we'll just run the vigil out there, even though it doesn't really do anything for us yet. So whenever one or more artifacts or creatures leave our graveyard during our turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature we control. Okay. And they have themselves the Scrapwork Mutt. Last week it was 2 losses back to back and then 6 wins back to. Yeah, it's true. That's true. We have had worse starts. All right, so do I disfigure this guy? I think I do, because now on my turn I can play Locust and eat it, or they're gonna give me some other targets. So we're going to eat the mutt, so they cannot unearth that. And then we have the Revenant. So we have a little loopable combo here, right? Because we can keep getting the Revenant back out of our graveyard, which can put counters on the Locust to make that bigger. I think I'm fine taking 2. Just recently stumbled on your channel. Thank you so much for bringing good content. You're welcome. I've been doing this for a little while now. I think I have a good sense of... what people want to see, and I've been trying to make that happen. So I appreciate all the views and all the support, and I'm glad you found us. That's what we love to do. We love to help share the stories behind Magic. R.I.P. Robo Dog. All right, so opponent has the Power Plant Worker. That's big. We need to find something equally big on our side. So I guess that is one downside. The Vigil only works during our turn, and like ideally you would use the Revenant ability not on your own turn, because then you're just wasting the mana, but it's fine. We will Surveil instead. Moment of Defiance. Interesting. Is that what we want? I guess I'm okay drawing that. I mean, it's not quite enough to make our Revenant kill their worker, but... But I guess keeping it to put on the Leveler, I mean, that would be 10 life. There I go, falling into the trap I said earlier. It's, you always look at these and you're like, if I just cast that on my giant awesome creature, it'll be great. Is that going to happen, though? Well, I don't know. Our opponent is trying to assemble... Neutron. They have Tower Worker. They have Power Plant Worker. Do they have the Mine Worker? Let's find out. Alright. So I think we still block this and let this die. And then Surveil. Do we need a second locust? I don't think so. I think I want to find land so we can get closer to leveler. There we go. Okay. So now if we return this on our turn, we should get a counter. Yep. So now do we attack with this one, or do we hold it back to block their worker? I guess they can make this up to a 6, and we can only combat trick our way up to 5, so it's not worth keeping it back to block. What aspect of the upcoming Phyrexian sets are you most excited for? Oof. Elish Norn, Infect, Worldbreaker, Tamio. Our opponent has themselves Urza's Battlethopter. Very cool. Is the new Tron land in Brothers Commander or in the standard set? Is there a new Tron land? There's the 3 workers who, when you get all 3 of them out together, do extra stuff, kind of like the Tron lands did. But I don't think there's a new Tron land in the set, unless I'm not thinking of something. Okay, well, we're not blocking any of that, so what am I most excited about? I'm excited for the crossover of all of the different characters coming together to fight the Phyrexians. That picture they showed us of, you know, you have like the dragons from Kamigawa and Baral from Kaladesh, and everybody's like all rushing together. It's like a very Avengers Portals moment. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can't cityscape that guy. We could play Mishra. Man, I don't know, gang. This is a little rough here again. We're like 1 land shy of where we want to be. We can't keep up our combat trick, and we can't afford the leveler yet. There's this foundry in the commander set. Okay, so that's why I'm not familiar with it. I don't study the commander sets. Like I said, I barely got to look at this set. I have a link to that photo. I mean, I put it on screen in one of my videos. Oh dear. All right. So, flyer on flyer. This has trample. So even if I use Mishra there, that still is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, we live, but our board is gone. Oh, nope. Guess what? Guess what? We do not live. Okay. Whew. That one hurt. This deck like seems good. Like it has everything I want it to have. Why is it not winning games? What is happening? So that photo, let me see if I can find the link to it. Yeah, hold on. Let me while we'll make some adjustments maybe to the deck here, but let me see. See if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Where'd my chat go? Okay. Thank you for your patience. There is the link. That is a website called thegamer.com, but the banner image there gives us Chandra. We've got Baral right behind her. We've got, I believe that's one of the dragons from Kamigawa. We've got Borborygmos from Ravnica, Asika's Chariot from Kaldheim and Dina from Strixhaven. So a bunch of different people all coming together, presumably to fight their way across Realmbreaker and stop the Phyrexians. That appears to be what's going on in that picture. That is key art for March of the Machine, which comes out not in March, but comes out next year. So we still have to go through New Phyrexia, All Will Be One first, and then we get to the set that this picture is showing us. So we still have a lot that has to happen between now and then. But I'm excited for this moment, whatever this is. This looks cool. It feels like magic. It feels like magic to me, which is the worst way to phrase that. But like that's what you do when you make your deck and you're just jamming all of your favorite creatures or characters or whatever in there, and then you're just kind of vomiting it all out on the battlefield when you play. You get weird stuff like this happening, right? You could have a Seeker's Chariot next to Borborygmos for some reason. That could be your deck. And like seeing that reflected in the story is kind of neat, because otherwise gameplay doesn't always really follow what's happening in the story. Like Brothers War is happening right now, but it's very hard to make a true Brothers War deck without putting in some cards from, I don't know, Crimson Vow or something, just because you need those fillers in there. And so like I always feel weird, like, yeah, it's a Mishra deck, but it's got this one vampire that makes blood tokens because I need the artifact for the synergy with the other, and you kind of justify all these things happening that don't happen in the story. But in this upcoming set, it looks like that kind of stuff's going to happen in the story. So I'm excited for that. That is what my excitement is all about. Urza's Workshop. You tap it for colorless. You have Metalcraft. Tab. Oh yeah. Okay. So there are other lands that do other cool stuff, but they're not Tron lands. Okay. I know they probably won't, but the possibility of an Asika's Chariot reprint. Yeah, I don't think they will, especially because they have to like nerf it for alchemy, right? They realized it was too good the first time around. I don't think they would subject us to it again, but it might be like, I don't know, a sorcery that's like Charge of the Chariot or something, and it has a Seeker's Chariot in the art, but I don't think we're getting the card again. Certainly not a reprint. March of the Machines sounds so cool as a set name. It's like vintage sci-fi movie. Yeah, it's a very evocative title for a set, and I like those more than Kaldheim, Ixalan, Strixhaven. It's just like name of place. That's it. When it has a tag built into it, that is pretty cool. I'm newish to MTG. Learning from you has been a lot of fun. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. Welcome to the game. I hope these stories inspire you to learn more and grow and be a part of this community for a long time to come. It's always great having new people join in the fun. Hope we get a scene of Soren, Grandma Olivia, Grandpappy Edgar fighting Phyrexians back to back. That would be cool. I like it when there is a threat so big, everyone else has to like put aside their grievances to deal with the thing, and there's like that lingering animosity between characters, and they're like, I would be killing you right now, but I can't. I have to kill this guy first, then I'm coming right back to you. That is an interesting type of drama, you know, that I don't think we see enough of that in stories. Hope they don't do any weird tie-ins. March of the Machines. Yeah, well, I mean, Universes Beyond is on the horizon, right? And someday that's going to happen, and I don't know. You're right. I would like it if it's just the Phyrexians, Magic's biggest villain, versus like all of Magic's great. They're not even all heroes, really. But that's the conflict. That should be it. When you start adding Transformers and I don't know, Warhammer and stuff in there, it takes away from some of Magic's own magic. Not to keep reusing that phrase. All right, let's look at this deck. What can we change here to make it less bad and more good? The Vigil was like neat, but it really didn't do anything for us the way I wanted it to. And the fact that it only works on our own turn makes this significantly less good than I'd wanted. I would almost rather have another creature than this thing. And we've got plenty. I mean, I still don't think that the Skull Flayers are really good. We haven't really had a game with multiple creatures in our own graveyard. They all tend to get used for other things. So maybe we trade Vigil for another Locust. And now we've got 3 of these things. And we just try to fly over the battlefield. It's a small change. The other copy of Gruesome Realization might also be useful. But I don't want to change too much at once. We'll just swap out the one card. Okay. All right. 2 losses. Cannot afford any more L's. Wonder when Emrakul will poke her head out again. I don't want to see her anywhere near the Phyrexian storyline. We don't need to get her involved. I would rather save her for 3 or more years from now, right? Like, we just locked her up, and like that needs to marinate. That's got to sit and be untouched, so that when we come back to it, it's like, ooh, she's been in there for a long time, and things have changed, and now it's meaningful to have her show up again. If you're just like, oh, we just locked her up, and then a little while later she's out again, and now she's fighting the Phyrexians, and now it's that'd be too much happening for a story that is supposed to be focused on. See, this is like another hand where like, I want to keep it. We got removal. We have a trick that doesn't work with anything. We have Mishra, but no red lands yet, and we have our bomb, but like, but our opponent goes first. We're on the draw, so we got time. And we draw another combat trick, which doesn't really help us. Okay, so we're just gonna have to ride on this disfigure for a while. Opponent with the thematic Sahili sleeves and avatar. They're not playing red and blue. Emrakul will probably reemerge after the Phyrexian storyline comes to a close, right? They need some threat out there, and with Nicol Bolas in prison at the moment, although I think he's getting out, and the Phyrexians probably are going to lose. So you need something for everyone to fight against. So the Eldrazi will have to come back at some point. But again, I think we have room. I think we've got 2 or 3 more years before we really need that, right? We know that the rest of the sets for next year are going to include going back to Ixalan and going back to Eldraine, both of which have worlds already set up for good planar conflict, but not interplanar conflict. So like Eldraine, you have the courts or the castles and the wilds, and there's a whole interplay between those, and I think that's what we're going to be. I mean, I guess we got a bunch of these in our deck. We might as well use them. And I can stop them from getting that bauble back, I guess. And then Ixalan already has the vampires and merfolk and dinosaurs all fighting over, ancient treasures and lost cities and stuff. So you don't need Eldrazi or a big threat there. You can tell stories that really fit those worlds. So that'll get us through the rest of this year. And then beyond that, who knows? Okay, so they just used a excavation explosion to kill our little bug, which I think I'm okay with. 4 lands now, still no red. And our Diabolic Intent, which we can't use because we don't have anything to sacrifice. Oh dear. Alright, they have the Cradle Clear Cutter, which is going to give them a ton of mana. Gross. Alright, well, do we self-mill or mill them? I guess we go self. Man, do we ditch this vermin to go get like a mountain? That seems like such a bad use of our intent. But otherwise, we might never get to cast Mishra. We might never get enough lands for the leveler. I feel like we've got to. We're gonna... Ugh. Turning this into basically a Evolving Wilds. Well, whatever. Jace shows up to ask Ugin for help, and while Ugin is busy telling Jace, no, Nicol Bolas sneaks out like a teenager. Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. They have themselves a hasty 6-4. I guess we're taking 9 here. No sense using Disfigure. We're up to 6. Okay, just gotta hang in there to get the leveler online. now we could use intervention to give Mishra +2. Ooh. Alright. So they are targeting us with an epic confrontation. Target creature is +1/+2. It fights. So now, even if we give him intervention, he doesn't actually kill the automaton. If we disfigure it, same issue. But at least disfigure means we don't just die to this thing, because it's going to become 7, 8, 9, 10. Man. Oh, even better. So disfigure was enough to, because it's only a 6/4. It was going to get +1/+2, and Mishra's got 4 power. Okay, that actually is good. We're still in a bad spot. Ugh. So yeah, once again, 2 combat tricks, no creatures, and a creature, but not enough mana. So are we dead? 3, 4, 5. She can't make another round of Thopters. If they have any sort of pump or anything, we are just donezo.
This plane's beauty is inspiring.
Opponent with the 3-color deck, finding everything they need. Us with our mono black splash 1. Okay, I mean we're not dead. But I also do not know how we live. Exemplar. Oof, and we don't even get to make the big one. Well, I think if we just use... Oh yeah, we don't even have enough to also do Defiance either. We really need the life gain. Because all they got to do is attack us with 1 Thopter and they win, so yep. Yeah, there's no way to sequence that. These Thopters are going to kill us. We even have, like, flyers in here. Where's all of our locusts? Did we mill them all? Did we... Oh, whatever. Yep. It's so interesting that Ashnod's Intervention puts the card back in your hand. Because there are, like, black combat tricks that put the creature back onto the battlefield. But I guess they didn't want that with prototypes in the format, because then your cheap prototype would become the bigger. I guess it makes sense. Welp, gang, that was a fun run. We went what, 1-3? I feel like those games were close, kinda. Like we didn't play bad. You know. Well, I don't know. All right, we won 1. What was our deck? So the games where we got to cast the Leveler were awesome, but we didn't get to do that every game. I think we needed more ways to make Power Stones or ramp or do something. Mishra was great whenever we got him out. I still like the Exemplar, especially in a mostly mono black deck, although that last game we had a weird distribution of lands. Trench Stalker never really did what we needed him to do. The Altar also didn't really ever come in super useful. Locust was like just okay. We never drew the Anointer, which is weird. I think we drew our Moment of Defiance every game and almost never got any value out of that. The Gruesome Realization is good. Like, I like being able to draw cards or shrink our opponent's board. I think that was crucial in that first match that we did win. Diabolic Intent. I mean, we were desperate enough for a land, but then we drew a ton more land. So, like, I don't know. Probably didn't need 2 emergency welds in here. We didn't really have enough creatures to bring back. Maybe just going down to 1 of those would have been better. Go for the Throat. I mean, you need removal. The fact that this doesn't hit artifacts is a bit awkward. And then our plan of just kind of self-milling and whatever with the rats and bringing back our revenants, that also never really came to light. Ashnod's pretty dope. Intervention not nearly as useful as I had hoped it would be, and the 2 disfigures, I think you're always happy to have one of those in your hand. It just changes combat math. or picks off small things, so I would keep those. The core of the deck is like still interesting and like still okay, but I guess forcing mono black here really didn't quite pay off the way that you would expect a Black Friday value to be. But that's it. That's where we wound up with Mishra's Black Friday forced mono black draft, stipulation draft. Our prizes, ooh, we got a pack. We got 100 gems. I'm like, I'll take that. Let's go open it. What do we think we got? Oh, I also got one for Mastery Pass, I guess. We have a Jalum Tome. Okay. Fade from History is our rare. Each player who controls an artifact or enchantment creates a bear token and then destroy all the artifacts and enchantments. Not great. This is what we needed. We needed to see a corrupt somewhere in our draft while we were on mono black. That's what I wanted to find, but we never did. And Overwhelming Remorse also would have been great. Straight up exile creature or planeswalker. Gets cheaper with the self-mill and stuff. That's what we needed. These guys should have been in our draft. And what else? What else? Millstone. Ooh, okay. Titania. So that's a fun mythic to have in my collection. Maybe next week we'll do something with her. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she fits into like a brawl deck. I'll have to think about this one. We'll have to see if I can use that for anything cool. Nothing else in this pack I really would have drafted anyway. So there we go. Well, I think that's about where I'm going to stop for today. I just wanted to do a fun little hangout here for a bit, do the stipulation draft. Sorry we only went 1 and 3, but those are the breaks. You know, Magic is a fickle mistress. I had a great time chatting with you all about the story and what's coming up and where we're going next. And I hope you continue to subscribe to the channel and watch the videos and, you know, share them with your friends when you go to the pre-release and Commander Night and whatever. If you're talking about the story or if people are curious what's going on, you know, drop them a link. You know, tell them to come see Arcanum. We want to grow the community. We're at 70,000 subscribers. I want to get to 100K. That's my goal. I think we're there within the next year. I think by the end of 2023, we should be at 100K. That's what I want. But I can't get there without your help. So make sure you like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and, you know, hype it up. Talk to your friends. Get out there. Be good little lore mages for me. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time on Magic Arcanum. Bye-bye.